could remember how I was vehemently saying, no, you cannot do that. How? You cannot cheat. You cannot. See, men, if you are dealing with men, please always try to wear black, because if you wear white, they will stain it for you. So if you wear black, even though they stain it, it will not be so obvious that your black has been stained. But if you wear white, they would rub. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Gloria Obo here again. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a new subscriber, please do subscribe, and please keep watching my videos and enjoying my content. To returning subscribers, thank you for coming back to watch another episode of this beauty. Thank you guys. So I'm giving a special shout out today to somebody on this channel, and his name is KiaNi. Hi KiaNi, thank you for supporting me so far. Thank you for watching my content. Thank you for always commenting, and yeah, usually like the first person to comment sometimes. Thank you KiaNi, I do not take that love for granted. Thank you very much, I really appreciate it. So guys, welcome back to the channel again. On today's episode, we'll be talking about breakfast. Breakfast is like a slang for breakups, for like not just breakups, like horrible breakups whereby the other party is either sidelined or cheated on, or you literally left the relationship in like a really bad state. So you broke up a relationship with so much bad blood and bad vibes in between. So that's like what breakfast connotes. So yes, this video was actually inspired by a post I came across on Instagram. So a lady was like, oh, she met a guy she really liked, so she was doing a lot for him. She was cooking, cleaning, and doing all the housewife duty and chores and everything in between. And eventually she found out that the guy she was the side chick and there was a main chick, like she was the side piece and there was like a main babe. So she was really heartbroken. She kind of like took a couple of actions against the guy and stuff like that. But I actually felt so bad for her, because I've actually been in a relationship where I really felt sidelined and I felt like I was taken advantage of at that point, and it was really horrible. So reading that post just kind of took me back, and I was like, never again. Now I'm very ruthless. So when I say ruthless, I am very ruthless. Like nowadays, I don't even care. Once I just sniff a bit of dishonesty, I don't care where it's coming from, maybe via calls, or once I just sniff it like this, I'm off. Like when I mean I'm off, I've disappeared. I don't even have time to waste to say, oh, maybe is he doing it, oh, he's not doing it, maybe it's my mind, oh, I'm overthinking. To be honest, always trust your gut feeling, because once you have a feeling and it keeps coming back to haunt you every time, and you feel like, oh, something is just not adding up. Two things: make your findings, investigate as much as you can, or if you don't have access to investigate, take your leave, because if you don't take your leave, you end up being like very hot, that you would, before you recover, it might take you a while. So now let me drop my own story for you people so you see how it goes. So while I was an undergraduate at the University of Lagos, I met a guy through a friend. Then one thing led to another. We started talking and we kind of kicked it off. We got into a relationship. He was like maybe 10 years older than me as at that point in time, and I was thinking, oh, because he was older, probably had more sense. But trust me guys, age, you see that thing called age is just a number. Somebody can be 50-year-old and maybe the sense they have is like maybe that of a 2-year-old. You can never tell. So at that point in time, I met him. I just got out of a relationship like maybe 4 to 3 months ago. So I was like, okay, probably this would work. I've always been that person, and I think the relationship I even left was because I was not really serious. I've always been that person that I can be nonchalant with things, with relationship especially. I just feel like, oh, you're wasting my time, or we are wasting our time. So this incident, this story I'm about to tell you, is like my first like heartbreak that really pained me. Not like that was my first relationship, or I've been in relationship, but you see this particular one, I won't lie, because it pained me to my bone marrow, guys. I'm not even kidding. So back to the story. I met him, we kicked it off, and we said, okay, let's date. Started dating. He was 10 years older than me. Things were going well. I felt like, oh, okay, probably this could be it. Gloria, be serious this time. Who knows? So, like, we had conversations. Yes, we spent time together. We spent a lot of time together. But guys, trust me, I didn't see any sign. There were days where probably he would talk about a sister he had that I was going to see. Then maybe when he called me while he was there, I would hear kids in the background, and I would be like, oh, whose kids are those? And he would say, oh, they're my sister's kids. And I'll be like, oh, okay. So I never thought about it. That's why when you are meeting a guy for the first time, probably all those guys are usually in their late 30s or their 40s, please, and they tell you they're not married, please check very well, like do your findings. So it shouldn't hurt you to do your findings if you know you really want to be with them, because most of them, they don't wear their rings because of the shino. If you don't understand shino, because they want to be promiscuous, so they will not wear their rings so that you will not know, or you will not catch them in their life. So like this one, there was no sign. I did not see any sign. The only thing I knew was that most times when we were together, there was always a sister that was calling him that had a particular name and had his surname. So I didn't think of it as anything. I felt like, okay, yeah, it was a sister. He was always stepping out whenever that call came in to take the call outside. But I just felt probably, oh, it was just like family issues he wanted to discuss. I didn't want me to know. So I never thought of it as, oh, probably there was a girl somewhere or there was somebody somewhere that I should be wary of. I did not know. So during the course of the relationship, we had a lot of fallouts. There were days we went weeks, like a week, and we would not speak to each other because, oh, we had a fight. And another thing, this is just to chip in, that if you are in a relationship and whosoever you are with goes a whole week, what I mean a whole week without talking to you, you are not in a relationship. You are dating yourself. To be honest, you are really dating yourself, because if I am in a relationship, you actually offended me or I offended you before, we fell out, we are not speaking a week, even 2 days, like 2 days, when it's 2 days, you already have somebody else. To be honest, for me that's just it, because you might think that, oh, we are still fighting, but guys, trust me, they say the art grow founder when somebody is dead, they say like that. That's why I'm not saying you right, but really, if somebody is really like somebody means so much to you, you would not want to go that long without speaking to them or talking to them or even trying to like know about their well-being or whatever they are doing. Do you get it? But for you to be so comfortable and relaxed that you're not speaking to your supposed partner for a week, 2 weeks, please, whosoever you are, if you're a guy, get in a relationship. If you're a girl, look at the next available person, or better still, go and focus on your life. So we had fights like that we didn't speak for 2 weeks. But at this point, honestly speaking, I was in my early 20s and I didn't know better. I was still learning the ropes of relationships. Even I'm still learning the ropes at this point, yeah. But at least I'm proudly single and I'm happy, like single and happy, you know, single and happy, no stress. So at this point in time now, I was like, oh, I didn't know better. I was still naive, kind of. I didn't understand the rudiments of these things. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was my mind, maybe because he was angry, I mean, so I'm angry at him, that's why we're not talking and stuff like that. But eventually, it got to fast forward to January 2020. So as of January 2020, we had one of our numerous fights. At this point, we've been getting for like 8 months or so. We had one of our numerous fights and we didn't speak for like a month. Like for a whole month, we did not speak. Meanwhile, like 2 months before this period, he was always traveling to Ibadan. It was more or less like, oh, he wanted to start a new business, so he needed to like go to Ibadan. Like he was shuffling Ibadan and Lagos every other week, and I didn't even see any big deal. I just felt like, oh, okay, yeah, work related stuff, and I didn't question him because I felt like I had no reason to doubt him. He didn't look like a cheater. If you see him, he's very quiet, calm. You will not know, like he didn't look like a cheater. He looked so innocent. He didn't even look like a liar. He didn't look like he could even hurt a fly. You see those ones that they look like they cannot do anything. Fear them, oh. You see those ones. If a guy is a bad boy, you know he's a bad boy, you are not contesting the fact he's a bad boy, it's fine, you know, you live with whatever he gives you. But you see those ones that are not bad, or they look like they are not bad, your breakfast, it will come in waves and doses that will knock you out, honestly speaking. So, continuing my story, Isha was shuffling Ibadan to Lagos. I didn't see it as anything. So there was one morning, this particular incident, when I think about it again, it pains me so much. There was one morning, he wanted to go to Ibadan. Then he said, oh, Gloria, please, I need to buy gala sausage roll. So gala sausage roll is like a Nigerian sausage, a Nigerian snack. So it was like, oh Gloria, I need to buy gala. And I was like, why are you buying gala? You can buy gala on the road. And it was like, no, there's this particular gala I want to buy. I'm like, why are you particular about buying gala this morning? And it was like, oh, there's this niece of mine that asked me to buy a gala. And I'm like, your niece asked you to buy gala, and you're buying gala all the way from Lagos to Ibadan, and there was no way you could buy it on the road. And it was like, no, he does not want to stop, he doesn't want to, and he might not see the gala to buy, he might not. I was like, okay. Stupid me that morning. I was like, okay, don't worry, just take me to my hostel, because I was staying in the hostel at that point. Take me to my hostel, I'll be able to buy gala for you within my hostel, then I'll bring it out. So he drove me to my hostel, I bought the gala and foolishly carried it to his car and said, yeah, take the gala, oh, bye bye, oh, safe journey, oh. And he was on his way to Ibadan. Guys, I'll go back to this gala story, but I just want to put that one in context. So January came, like I said, we fell out, we're not talking to each other and stuff. February came, then we started talking again. So as of February, we're trying to mend fences and trying to say, oh, let's see if we can pick up the remaining pieces of whatever we have and just continue forging ahead with our supposed relationship. March came, that was March 2020. The pandemic was already kind of rearing its ugly head, but it was not like in full force. There was still like a lot of movement. So that we had a plan that for the weekend I was to go to Ibadan and see him. So we spent time together, since he has not been in Lagos for months, and I didn't even know because we're not on talking terms and stuff like that. So we agreed. But a friend of mine at that point, like a really close friend of mine at that point, but we don't talk anymore though, she was like, Gloria, you this guy that you're even going to meet, do you trust him? Do you think he has not been doing anything? Do you think he has? She just gave me a lot of just, and I was like, forget it, Jerry. I know him now. Come on, I know him. He cannot do that. What do you mean? No, he can't do that. Foolish me. I was like, oh, you cannot do that. She was like, I wish I cannot do that. So at that point in time, she was like, okay, if you are so sure you cannot do that, you can never be too sure. Just try to find out information about what he has been up to. So we kind of devised a means. I'm not supposed to share that here, but I will share it anyway. We kind of devised a means that I had access to his phone. Yes, so I knew his password like from way back, because that's the thing. He even told me his password, and the fact he told me his password, I felt like I had no right. We're really together all the other month before we started having a fight. So I felt like there was no need to check his phone now. He told me his password, so I was like, I didn't know that even that telling me his password was to throw me off, so that I would never have reason to check him, because I feel like, look, I know your password now, so there's nothing for you to hide there. Meanwhile, guys. So on my way to Ibadan, I already knew his password. I didn't forget, so I was like, okay, good. When I get to Ibadan, I'll go through his phone and I will check and see if really he has been honest, because we've had conversations. I asked him, like, are you sure you're not been with anybody? Or he said, no, me be with anybody? No, no, now I'm not. I don't have time. I'm always busy with work. He said those their lies. Oh, I'm busy with work. Please, nobody is ever too busy for you. Even me. Let me tell you, for guys that have been telling I'm busy, let me just tell you the truth. See, I am never too busy for who I want to be with. If I want to be with you, I'll be with you. If I don't want to be with you, that's when I'll give you my busy excuse. I'm not supposed to tell you the secret, but I'm telling you. Do you understand? That's how it works. I think that's how it works for everybody. If somebody wants to be with you, they will make out time. Anybody that tells you, oh, I'm busy, because they don't want to be with you, take your L and leave. So I was like, oh, okay, good. He was honest. So the more reason why my friend was telling me, Gloria, are you sure? I was like, you cannot do that. What do you mean? He's honest. This is that. Long story short, I got to Ibadan that evening. I was happy. I have not seen him in a long while. We hugged and everything. And as the day proceeded, I was really anxious because I was waiting for him to go to bed. I wouldn't lie, this is me giving you the tea. And I know he might watch this video because he's always still stalking my Instagram. If you piss me too much, I might mention your name before this video ends, but I will not mention your name because you actually don't deserve it. Anyway, so I was so anxious for him to go to bed, like, because I wanted to see if really he has been honest with me and everything, or even though he was not being honest, how long has this dishonesty started from, and what not. Guys, you see when they say don't open a can of worms, like I opened a can of python snakes, of cobra snakes. That night was not funny. Like, like, okay, let's start from here. I opened this phone while he was asleep, and guys, lo and behold, waiting my eyes see, my mouth not fit talk am, because it was crazy. Like, guys, do you know that at this point in time, this guy supposedly was married. He was not only married, he had 2 kids. 2 kids that, and to now make all the whole story now very interesting, you see those kids I mentioned earlier that I said, oh, were his auntie's kids that he was always carrying or something. Guys, those were his kids. He has 2 kids. He even has a wife who he was kind of, okay, they were married though, but I think they were having issues, so she was not like with him. I think they were just sharing responsibility or something, you get. But even in, because I know I'm not supposed to have done this, but I shared this because I needed to just get everything out of me. So I went through his conversation with his wife, and that's him telling his wife, oh, you are my life, I cannot live without you. Meanwhile, aside from the wife, he had like 10 other people in his DM. He has like maybe 3 he has already slept with, and 1 out of the 3 he's still sleeping with, that he has been sleeping with for months, even while we were together. You get. The supposed person that morning he said I should go and buy gala. That gala I bought, it was for that babe that he was sleeping with in Ibadan. Guys, it was not even funny. So like, this is you in the DM lying to your wife that, oh, you're my life, I cannot live without you, and somewhere else you are, the other girl in question even knows there is a wife. She knows there's a wife, she knows he has kids, she even knows the wife, but still she's still sleeping with him. And I'm like, and meanwhile he's telling, okay, yes, I remember he told that one that him and wife, they are not together, that they are just sharing responsibilities for the kids he has. That's what he told the other one. So that one in her mind, she was thinking, oh, I've met the best person, very soon we'll get married and stuff. She was a lawyer and everything. I was like, this life, like, he was just lying to literally everybody. He was lying to her, he was lying to me, he was lying to one other one. And this is somebody that, oh, you would not even believe he can do something like that. You would not even believe he can cut a fly. Guys, I'm not even kidding. You get. So that's how, long and short story, I found out everything I needed to know that night. Like, you know, with every message I opened, with every chat, my heart broke further. My heart kept breaking. I didn't cry. I just swallowed it up like a big girl. I didn't say anything. I just kept my cool, and I was like, good. I didn't. So in the morning, we woke up and it was all trying to be sweet and everything. And you know when like you're wearing the mask and I'm like this, but inside I'm like, you bitch, I'm going to, like, I just kept my cool. So I was supposed to stay in Ibadan for like 4 days or so, but I couldn't stay. Like, I could not, because I just didn't know what I was going to do. I was so hot, I was so angry, I was so bitter, like I was everything you can imagine. But the thing is, he still tried keeping this face. Like, I even asked him, like, is there anything you want to tell me? He said no. There's nothing. I said, are you sure? He said no, there's nothing. So the next day, the previous day when I got to Ibadan, for the next day we had plans to, like, for him to like take me on a sightseeing tour. Like, all through the tour I was just trying to keep a smile and just act like I didn't know anything. After the whole excess or over download of information that I already know about him, or how shitty and how horrible he is, I just kept my cool. I don't know. See, till today, most times I still wonder, how did I have the strength to just keep everything in and not show? Another point, I think I told myself, Gloria, you're a very good actress. You need to start acting. Like, I pretended, I laughed, like everything. We're even kissing. Like, I just pretended like everything was fine. Because I didn't trust myself to react in a non-violent way, or maybe get into a confrontation and it leads into something else, and oh, I'm regretting my actions, and I'm like, oh, this is not my city, this is not where I live. There's no need to just pretend, and I mean, I just have to keep up the pretense and just see how it goes. So during that period, I just got out of school. As at 2020, so I was preparing to go for NYSC camp before the COVID hit full force. So the next day I was supposed to stay for 4 days, but I just stayed for only 2 days. So I got there like today. We did the whole sighting tomorrow, which was the whole me trying to keep all my emotions inside. Then that day when we got back, I just pretended. I said, oh, I got a message that I have to go for my NYSC clearance and stuff like that, and everything in between. And it was like, oh, okay, no problem, it's cool. I shall lie, because I know I just needed to leave. I just needed to stop seeing him. If not, I didn't trust what I was going to do. So the next morning, which was the 3rd day, I packed my bags, both the heaviest, the lightest, everything in between. I packed my bags, dusted my slippers, and I told myself, Gloria, that is it. You see, men, and you see, that was my first Yoruba Demon encounter. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I still did not cry. I still could not believe. I felt it was a lie. I felt like, nah, that didn't happen to me. Like I was just not one of the side chicks too. And I was thinking that, oh, we had something good going on, and it was so good at lying and convincing, like, oh, we were together and we're in this together and stuff. I just kept my cool. The morning he drove me to the park. I took a very I think a cab coming to Lagos all the way, and still to now make issues worse, or to now add insult to the injury, while we were together, because I could still read these conversations, the conversation he was having with the other girls, he was not taking while I was there, all the girls he used to talk to, he was not taking their calls, he was not responding to their messages. Even his wife messaged him, he did not respond. It was more or less like, oh, trying not to alarm me of anything. So it was more or less like he still wanted to keep stringing me along with the other girls. Can you imagine such wickedness? Like, people can be very wicked though. So he didn't take anybody's call. That was calling him. I think he just responded occasionally. I could see all the response, but I just acted like I think he lied that he was out of town or something. He just told a lie so she would not worry and think, oh, maybe he's ignoring her or anything. So at that point in time, while he dropped me off at the park, I could still see his conversation. I'm not going to disclose how. I'm not going to, because that's a secret that is up my back. So I could still see his conversations on my phone, which I was like, oh, immediately he dropped me off. So I texting her that, oh yes, okay, I'm back now. Like, man. But like, oh, I'm back now. Yeah, this one. And this plan, immediately started making plans to see her. That, like, because he went to drop me as early as maybe 6 a.m. in the morning, so he was already making plans to see her as maybe 10 a.m. that same morning. And this was me. As he just turned and went to his car and drove off, I started crying. Like, I didn't really want to cry out, so people, so what, tears were actually dropping out from my eyes and everything. I started cleaning my eyes and I was like, okay, it's all good. Because even now, thinking of how pathetic I was at that point is really sad, because to be honest, for me, it did not even deserve half of the tears I shed, honestly speaking. Because right now it pains me that, Gloria, come on, how could you be so stupid? Why were you crying for that thing? But yes, I won't lie guys, it was really painful. So it was more or less like, oh, I got home that morning, because driving from Ibadan to Lagos is like 2 hours. So I got home like by 10 a.m. thereabout. And immediately I got home, I dropped my bag, I laid down and I cried. You see that kind of hot tears when you're crying, that oh, your body's shaking. Like, guys, I cried. I cried like as if I lost my husband. This is not somebody's story, this is my story. Like, I cried so much that I felt like something was leaving my body. It was so painful, and I was not crying because of him. I was crying because I just felt like I was very stupid. I've been played. I've even exposed myself to all sorts of things. Like, anything could have happened to me. Like, this was somebody that I kind of trusted. Like, I even left Lagos all the way. What if things even got worse than it was? So first of all, I was crying out of relief for the fact that, oh yes, whatever, everything has happened, I still came out, like, at least I still came out I didn't come out hot or anything. And I was crying for the fact that, oh, I felt like, oh yes, like, I just wasted my time, my energy on this person, and it was just all for nothing. So it was really painful. And this story, whenever we actually I have the conversation with my friends and we all like say it and we are laughing about it, it's really funny nowadays, because I could remember how I was vehemently saying, no, you cannot do that. How? You cannot cheat. You cannot. See, men, if you are dealing with men, please always try to wear black, because if you wear white, they will stain it for you. So if you wear black, even though they stain it, it will not be so obvious that your black has been stained. But if you wear white, they would rubbish you. That's why nowadays girls stay wicked. To be honest, staying wicked is not that, oh, you are being wicked or intentionally mean. It's just because you are guarding yourself. You are guarding yourself not to get hurt. You are guarding yourself not to be shortchanged. You are guarding yourself not to be taken advantage of. Because at the end of the day, it hurts us more than it hurts them, honestly speaking. Most times they don't care. Yeah, after a few months, okay, I didn't even finish the story. Then when I got back to Lagos, I didn't confront him immediately, because I was still going through the conversation he was having. Like, he took the girl out that same day, they went out, they had fun. I was just like, oh, so I couldn't take it anymore. I just had to stop seeing the conversation. So the means I was using I just got out of it, and I was like, oh, I'm done with you. Whatever you do with your life, it's your business. Then he messaged me. I was like, oh, baby, or something. Like, have you gotten him? I was like, who is your baby? Like, wrote like a very long episode of everything I saw, what I know and all. Guys, guess what he responded? He said, okay. Like, I wrote a really long episode of everything I saw, and the response I got was O and K. Okay. Another round of premium tears. Guys, I cried again and again. So like, I won't lie, so at that point in time, the pandemic was just kicking in, so places were starting to shut down, movement was restricted, so I had enough time to cry and overcry and undercry and think about my life. So honestly guys, I cried a lot, but eventually I got better and I just moved past the old drama. My friends too were there at that point, so we just laughed about it and we moved on. But eventually, like some 8 months later, I was on my own one day because I blocked him everywhere. I blocked him WhatsApp, everywhere possible. So I was on my own one day and the number called me and I was like, oh, hi Gloria, this is who? Have we met? Do I know you? And it went about, oh, I'm sorry for what happened, trying to say stuff, oh, a lot has happened to me. I was like, serves you right, you should have even died in the first place. But no, I won't say that, because in as much I don't care. I just feel like at the end of the day, God just bring people into your life to teach you lessons. Honestly speaking, I still have more heartbreak stories to share, but I think I'll just share only this one with you guys today. But at the end of the day, really, people come into your life to teach you different lessons. There are people that come into your life for you to learn, for you to be better. So in as much as, oh, the experience was horrible at that point, I'm still grateful for the lessons I learned from it, and I know that, yeah, I know never to repeat it again. So that's why now, once I'm with a guy, like, number one, I like to define things. What are we doing? Are we playing? Are we joking? Are we laughing? Are we dating? Let's define it. Let's know what we are doing. That's one. And number two, once I, like, as much as smell a whiff of you being with somebody else, like, the rules are very simple for me. I'm not forcing you to be with me. I'm not saying, oh, you have to be with me by force. But if you must say you want to be with me, you have to stick to the rules, my rules, and maybe if your rules are good for me, good enough for me, I will stick to yours. But whenever I suspect you are trying to move funny with me, I would not even hesitate to cut you off. Whatever situationship we have or relationship we have, once I smell you are moving funny, trust me, I will not even give you an explanation, because I just feel like you don't deserve it. If you feel you have the audacity to move funny, then I feel like I have the audacity to do whatever I want. To be honest, queens, stay wicked. These men, you don't deserve it. And I'm not that kind of person that will say stay wicked and in the corner I'm loving shamelessly. No, like when I'm loving shamelessly, I will let you people know, but at this point I'm staying wicked. And thank you for staying tuned, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and I love you. Have a wonderful day. Please subscribe, like, comment and share. Bye. Bye guys.